If we wanted to, we could leave the answer as a fraction, and the answer would be 1/3. So the probability of randomly selecting a sample of 2 people from this population and getting a sample mean below 57 is 1/3 if you leave the answer as a fraction. That makes sense because, after all, 1/3 of the possible samples of 2 people have a sample mean that's below 57. If 1/3 of the possible samples of 2 people have a sample mean below 57, then the probability of getting a sample of 2 people with a sample mean below 57 is just 1/3. So here's a graph of the sampling distribution. This is just showing the means of the 6 possible samples of 2 people. And this is just showing that 1/3 of the possible samples of 2 people have a sample mean below 57. That's why the probability of randomly selecting a sample of 2 people from the population and getting a sample mean below 57 is a 1/3 probability. Here's another example. In this example, we still have a population of 4 people, and these are the heights of the 4 people in the population. What we want to know this time is the probability of randomly selecting 2 people from the population and getting a sample mean between 56 and 57. This question has the same 3 steps that we did last time. So we just need to calculate the mean of every possible sample of 2 people. Then we need to count the number of sample means that are between 56 and 57, because that's what the question is asking. And then we need to just divide the number that we got from step 2 by the total number of sample means. So step 1 is going to be the same as it was last time. We're just sorting the population into all possible samples of 2 people, and we're calculating the mean of each possible sample. Once we get all 6 sample means, we're finished with step 1. In step 2, we need to count the number of sample means between 56 and 58, because that's what the question is asking about. We can see that 4 out of 6 possible samples have a sample mean between 56 and 58, if 56 and 58 are included. So we have the answer for step 2. We know that 4 out of 6 possible samples have a sample mean between these 2 numbers. Now we can move on to step 3. In step 3, we just divide 4 by the total number of sample means, which is 6. And our answer comes out to 0.67. When you divide 4 by 6, you get 0.67. And as a fraction, our answer is 2/3. And that makes sense because 2/3 of the possible samples have a sample mean between 56 and 58. If 2/3 of the possible samples of 2 people have a sample mean between 56 and 58,